mend them.
Yes, sir.
People in America, regardless of color, are starting to wake up. They're starting to ask questions. How is this? How is that? Just to give you a quick example, this weekend, 95% of the population were following this wedding in London. The other 5 or 10%, no, I'm not gonna say royal, wedding in London. The other 5 or 10, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's incest. It's continual blue blood incest. The rest of them were caught up in this controversy between Obama and the birth certificate thing with Trump, which really, that whole thing was like a rap war between 2 rappers.
Yes, sir.
You know, while we were doing all that, our brother in Libya was attacked, and the world slept on it. They killed his son and his grandchildren, and you know, whenever they say 3, that's 13, because we know that they can't count. So that just goes to show on a small scale how they duped everybody real quick.
And they revealed their hand on the dupe when they had the White House corresponding dinner, and who's sitting in the fucking audience but Trump.
Exactly.
So they had to roast him. He had to shit on him and play the card because the game was up. It was the same thing that when he was going against him and John McCain was going at it. They popped up at the dinner with the damn bishop.
Well, we know, like I said, rap thing, you know, Kanye, 50, you know, Wyclef and the other brother, you know, we know in the rap world we know what's going on, but it's the same game everywhere.
Indeed.
But to talk to the Bin Laden situation directly, you cannot assassinate someone that does not exist. Bin Laden does not exist. You know, we know a person that they call Bin Laden. Just to give you a little history of how everyone was prepped. Whether you're in the PlayStation or not, I got sons, they follow that, and my children play it. So there's a game called Hitman 2. It came out in 1993. In this game, in the hierarchy of the game, you have a mission. And one of the missions is to go into what they call the Middle East and assassinate this dictator. Well, the dictator that you're supposed to assassinate looks just like our brother Saddam Hussein. And then if you kill him, you get a bonus person to kill, and that person looks just like Osama bin Laden. Now, this was in 92 or 90. Actually, no, excuse me, 90, before 9/11, before you had any knowledge of this, we were being fed this. So now we get fed this ruse. Now all of a sudden, Bin Laden is found. He's found in a mansion and he's so-called killed. No body, no evidence. But because the masses of people, again, regardless of race or creed, everyone has the American chip implanted in them. And because this chip is implanted, the first thing we do is rush out to believe the media. I'm a video technology person myself, and I do green screen. Last night, there were hundreds of green screen interviews all night long that were claimed to be live interviews. But you can see that these were green screen. Of course, one on News One pulled up the average black man to give his opinion, and everybody's pro-American, and we're cheering. What we don't understand is that what we're witnessing in front of our faces is phase 2 of the plan. Phase 1 happened in 9/11. Phase 2 is now to get the American public in general to gear themselves to help finalize the war on Islam. Now every blue-blooded American will okay and sanction the destruction of any Muslim that's out here. Now we know and understand the Muslim that they're focusing on, America, does not live in Cairo. The Muslim that they're focusing on lives in what most of us would term Africa. And it is not an Islamic war, it's the fact that this war has to be waged because these are the resources that this country needs. And if you dumb down everybody to think that it is an Islamic war, then when they attack Libya, when they attack, you know, these areas in Africa that are filthy rich as far as resource concerned, we won't question it. Like the average person does not question the killing of a deer, because you've been taught that deers are animals and animals deserve to be killed. So this is the same thing being played on a higher level. So when we follow the Osama bin Laden issue, what we're actually doing is signing our own death certificate. We're signing our own internment certificate, because it took fear for the American in 1940 whatever to intern the Japanese. Some people were cool with Japanese. They had no problem with the Japanese until you were informed about Hiroshima. And then all of a sudden the Japanese became the mortal enemy. And then Pearl Harbor happened, so you had to have a retaliation. So 9/11 happened, but it didn't have the effect that this government intended, which was an all-out hatred for these group of people called Muslims, which in actuality is an attack on Moors. But that's another story. We can get deeper into that, you know, because the fabric of this country was founded on the terms of what you call Islam, but they can't have that revealed either. So now as this goes on, we chip into this attack because we're an emotional people, and we thrive on emotionalism. Last night you saw scores of emotional people all over this country cheering the death of a man you don't even know.
What do you think about people celebrating this thing?